We are out here with the blue walls
Come on
and the
now.
black and white.
Yeah, come on. Great minds think alike with the black and
Yes,
white, you know?
we are out here. Um, so I guess the very first question that I wanted to ask you, um, since this is like a remake, what are like the changes, or like major changes or slight differences between the remake and the original that you are like most proud of or excited about?
I think one of the biggest changes that this movie has compared to the 1997 version is that Harold dances. And being a choreographer and a teacher and a dancer myself, that was an opportunity for me to capitalize on and just seize those moments in the movie and try to make those as entertaining as possible. Now, shout out to Bill, who did a magnificent job in 1997. But I'm glad I was able to bring in my talents in the movie to make it a little bit, different.
Mhm. That's what I did want to ask about you being a choreographer, a dancer, also being a producer for Disney Fam Jam and your own just like works in general. How it's like working on this project. Like, sorry, my dog's knocking on my door. But
No,
how has working on this project like inspired you and like made you a stronger producer and choreographer?
but it's what I've always been in front of the camera, right, dancing and whatnot. But um, you know, this project particularly had me really sparked the interest in acting a little bit more. So now, prior to this, project, I had not have any like acting training or anything like that. But fortunately, I was able to book the role, and now I'm seeking out for more acting gigs and um, training. I train now like 3 or 4 times a week in acting classes and whatnot, and it's been a great journey. So one thing I took away from this project is that I can actually act.
I love that. First of all, was this like your first audition too, or no? Just first acting role?
Acting audition, yes.
Okay. That it okay, that blows my mind though, because like how what's the word I want to look
That
for? Courageous maybe for you to go out for a role where you don't have any lines and you're like, this is what I'm gonna try to book as my first acting job.
Right. I mean, I thought it was pretty like it was a bit strange because you when you see yourself as an actor, you look for lines and you look for dialogue or whatnot. But obviously, Harold doesn't speak English, and ironically, the director and I, our exam, got together and we sort of created Harold's his own language. You know
Mhm.
and we were able to bring a little bit of his world into the modern day world, which was also fun. So when you hear Harold says "Rah, rah, 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 rah," that type of thing, the crowd gets a kick out of it because you know everyone's trying to decipher what he's trying to say, which is also the twist in the entire story. So it's an awesome thing to see.
Mhm. Oh, I love that though, because also like as a dancer and as a person, getting to play like this role where so much of it is based on like understanding like his physical form and how the way that he like speaks um can maybe be like conveyed. Is
Mhm.
there anything that you've learned about the way that your like body movement or the way that you kind of like communicate with people has changed since doing this project?
I think physicality has a lot to do with everything, like more than we know. I feel that, taking on this role, you know, it taught me that you really don't have to speak for anyone to understand where you're coming from. You don't have to speak a certain language to understand how that person is feeling or conveying. You can get someone's emotions just by looking at their eyes. So playing this character in the movie was very, very challenging, yet it was more rewarding in the end because, obviously I had to try much harder for everyone to understand, but it's much more rewarding when you can figure out someone's feelings without them shouting it to you or putting it plain in your face.
Totally. So then to like, I guess like that note in Harold's journey and Harold's story, um, since like love is such a strong motivation for him, I think like love and finding where his place is in the world, especially now that he's a mummy. Um, I think for some people or some mummies, I don't know how mummies live their lives.
Mhm.
It would have been easy to give up, and instead, like with the help of Marshall Gilbert and I'm blanking on her name. Hold
A-
up,
a-
Amy.
yeah.
I knew it was an A name.
Yeah, yeah,
With
yeah.
the help of, with the help of Marshall Gilbert and Amy, like he doesn't give up. He keeps finding that motivation to be with the one that he loves.
Yeah.
Um, how do you think all of their energies and personalities kind of keep him going instead of like just deciding like, okay, this is over, I'm done.
I mean, all the kids had different qualities that helped Harold along the way. You know, Malachi, well, not Malachi, Malachi, who plays Marshall. Marshall has this leadership quality amongst all the kids that Harold kind of takes from. You know, Amy, who's played by Sophia Hammonds, has this sort of investigator, you know, um, inquisitive thinking type of characteristic to her that Harold was able to pull away from her. And then also Gilbert with the funny, witty, lighthearted, timid, scared, but still courageous at the same time, wanting to stand up for himself. Um, that's what Harold was able to pull away from Gilbert as well. So it's, you know, as Harold is helping them, Harold is also, you know, retrieving information that helps him along the way to help him find his you know, destination. I can't reveal too much, but I want people to see the movie. Yeah.
I've already seen the movie, but for the viewers,
For
you
the
got to watch
viewers,
it.
yeah.
But yeah, so then we've mentioned about how he's like learned from those characters. I do want to ask about, I know in the original, Bill kind of does both roles as both Harold and Ted.
Yeah.
And then this, you and Jamie both get to kind of like take those two apart. But I want to know if y'all had any conversations about how to thread that needle. Because I do think there are parallels for how
Yeah,
Marshall views those two.
yeah, I mean, there are parallels, but I'm so glad they didn't ask me to play both characters because that would have been very hard to do. Because the mummy suit that I had to put on takes a very long time. It's very complicated to put on and take off, and it's very, very, intricate. So if I had to be on set at 8, that means I had to arrive at 6:30, meaning I got picked up at 5:30 to get to the venue. And there's no way that I could do that and then, okay, get ready for Jamie. So I have to get out. No, no, no. I'm glad. I'm glad Jamie. Shout out to Jamie who killed the part of Ted. Thank you, Jamie, so much. But yeah,
Just a Jamie appreciation video. That's
yeah,
all it
yeah.
is.
Shout out to Jamie, man. He killed that role.
He like y'all had me kind of cracking up just the whole time. Just like his enthusiasm
Yeah,
for like wanting Marshall to just like
yeah.
take him in. But
Uh-huh.
so I have like two questions left. Um, so one is like well, how do I want to close this out? No, I'll ask it. Skip it. So as a parent, right? Like you're a parent and you're married,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. Whew. It would have been awkward if I had that wrong. Um has it set in yet though that this movie is gonna become like a holiday tradition for other families?
Wow. Um, it still hasn't settled into my skin yet because I know how iconic this movie was back in 1997. And there was a little bit of pressure and big shoes to fill, but I feel like we've been getting nothing but great reports from the audience and everyone that's been watching the movie. So we're very, very grateful for it, and I think we did a great job with it, and you know, hopefully it does even more. And hopefully other opportunities come from it as well.
Hmm. Yes.
Hmm.
That so then oh crap. Okay. I did have okay, really two quick questions
Sure,
and then I'm done, I promise.
sure.
There's an ongoing joke in the movie about how like the two hadn't seen how Warhead 4 ends. How
Mm,
do you think that it ends?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
See, the way you say it makes me think like and you're like, I'm not gonna tell y'all because we're making a second under wraps where the answer is revealed and
I
the
don't.
NDAs that Disney
Hey,
has me under.
I'm not. Hey, hey, I'm not liable. I'm
It's okay, I
not
won't fumble your
liable.
bag. My absolute for real this time final question
Yeah.
is if any artist that you have choreographed so far could make an appearance in another Under Wraps movie as a mummy, who would you choose and why?
What would I choose? What was that? Repeat the question.
So if you could have any artist that you've choreographed in the past be a mummy in
Okay.
another Under Wraps movie, who would it be and why?
Oh, it would be MC Hammer.
Oh yes.
Imagine MC Hammer being Harold. What? And him doing on the typewriter. Uh-oh, can't touch this. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? Like what? Come on. Imagine Harold and MC Hammer pants.
It was just like,
Get out of here. Stop
that
it.
is for specifically, I was born in 96, so I count as a 90s kid. That is for
Oh,
the 90s kids.
yes, yes,
Like
yes, yes. Well,
the
I
Gen
was
Zers
born
would
in
be like, what's going on here? And we're like, this is for us.
yeah, MC Hammer would be the guy because I think his humor is so great as well. So, and I know him on a personal level, so it's awesome.
So then you call up Disney right now and tell them we need this to happen.
Right.
All right. Thanks so much, Phil, for taking the time out of your day to speak with me. This was fun.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it. Thank you for having